Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Milf Manor. This week's episode is episode 11 and we are getting to the end, so let's just try to cherish every moment we have left with these MILFs. Last week we got two new guys in, Rob and Fletcher. That was the very first time I was actually happy that we got two new people in. And we also got a fight between Barbie and Chris about the game, about the whole money thing. So that's actually where we leave off, is Barbie in her room packing up. So Chris goes into the room with Barbie and he immediately just starts apologizing. He says that he just got so worked up about the situation that I guess he couldn't calm down, so he just shut down. Barbie is just crying, she's bawling, and she's saying that she can't trust him if there's gonna be this inconsistency of like, oh, the lovey-dovey, then the next minute you guys are just like clashing. But Chris just reassures her that he's working on himself, he's trying to be a better man for her, and she also apologizes as well. So they kiss and make up and everything's better. Chris also says that he's not used to being intimate, so if he wasn't into her or into the situation, then he just wouldn't be there. Now we have a brand new day and the girls and the guys are all kind of just hanging out in their circles, and we get a scene where David says that he wants 7 kids, which is like so many dang kids. I don't feel like anybody needs that many kids, but you do you, as long as you can afford to take care of those babies, I guess. But this scene did feel like kind of unnatural too. It just felt really weird, but then I kind of got why. We start to see people come in and we know from the preview from last week that it's their family members and friends coming to see the moms. And instead of just sending all of the family in, they send them in small batches. So we see 2 women walk in. The men start to get a little intrigued. They think that maybe 2 new women are coming into the house. But no, the first people that we get are Christina and Barbie's friends. First we meet Christina's friend Galen. They call her G. Apparently they're best friends and they ride around on a red trike. Christina's in heels in the back and her friend just totes her around, and I don't know, apparently everybody knows them. So
everybody knows the trike girls.
The trike girls, and it's red.
Who are you?
if you have seen these people, let me know, because that's wild. But David does say that this is the first time that he's going to meet a family member. It might end up second guessing his relationship, because usually when you build a relationship with somebody, like meeting their family members is after you've done the dating and like getting to know them. So since he doesn't know how Christina is on the outside, he's gonna, I guess, take this to advantage and just see what she is day to day. Then Christina also introduces G to Sam, which I think is weird. But then Sam goes on to say that he thinks Christina is into David, but he also came here to find a connection and he doesn't want to leave without one. So it sounds like he's still going to try to aim to be with her, which sounds like that she never told Sam that like she's going for David, because in the last episode she said she was pretty solid on David. So I feel like that should have been spoken about, but again, I don't know if it was or not. The next person we get to meet is Barbie's friend Kate. Obviously, Barbie introduces her to Chris, but Chris is just nervous that he's just gonna say something dumb, so nothing too crazy there. Now, the next person we get to see is Kelly Mac's daughter, Michelle, and it was so just cute and emotional when you see Kelly Mac see her daughter, because she just immediately starts crying. And of course, Kelly Mac introduces her daughter to Darren, and even Darren's a little bit emotional. And I just love that when Kelly started crying when she saw her daughter, Darren immediately jumped in to like comfort her. I think they just like blend so well together. I think they're so cute. And speaking of Kelly and Darren, they actually have a channel called Milfing Monday with Kelly Mac and Darren. Basically, if you want to see a reunion, if you want to know the behind the scenes, all the things going on, this is a great channel to go watch. Their videos really give you a lot of insight to what was maybe edited in a weird way, or just to see what the the guys and the other moms are doing after the show. It's so cool just getting to see what they're doing on the outside of the show and then talking about what was going on in the house. So if you're interested in seeing more than just what the show is offering, this is definitely a channel I recommend. But back to the show. We also get to see Sam meet Michelle, and Michelle is gorgeous. So I understand why Sam was like...
She's the type of person that would have been awesome to have here.
It's not gonna happen.
But Darren stomps that out pretty quick. He's like, nuh-uh, there's no way I'm gonna be dating Kelly Mack and then you date her daughter. So and then the next person we get to see is Shauna's aunt Sharon, and she just seems so gentle and kind, just like Shauna. Like, they both just have that same vibe to them, the same aura. It's just, they just feel just so warm. But of course, she introduces her to Joey and Anthony. And then we get to see Crystal's sister, Misha Nicole, and she lets her know that she has something with Stacy. And as we saw in the preview last week, she said that her sister was going to get down to business. So let's hope something goes somewhere. And then we get to meet Rebecca's friend Joanne, and she introduces Connor first off as her boyfriend. And then is like, oh, there's my other boyfriend too. Points to Anthony.
Connor?
Yes.
That's my boyfriend.
Nice to meet you.
Oh, nice to meet you, Connor.
Stacy.
That's my other boyfriend.
I'm your other boyfriend.
And then last but not least, we get Joey, the OG Joey. Kelly's son Joey comes in, and oh my goodness, this duo is crazy. I swear we were gonna get more scenes with both of them, because last season the things that they just said was wild.
I'm just raw. And I'm just like...
You're welcome. This is your dad.
Oh my God, bro.
Oh, hell no.
But Joey ends up getting a text just telling them what they already know. The moms have family and friends that have come to see them, so go ahead, mingle, get to know each other. And it is also Barbie's birthday, so they're gonna have a big barbecue and just hang out. And so now we get to see Kelly introduce Joey to Rob, and I don't know, Kelly and Joey are just so, I don't even know how to explain it. But Rob is just saying like, oh, how attractive she is. And what Joey said wasn't weird, I guess. He was just saying that his mom was pretty. But the way that he said it and then the awkward silence after was just like...
She's definitely by far the coolest one here.
Hell yeah.
And the most attractive, so.
I agree with that. She's beautiful.
So now we really get to sit down and let the family and friends get to know the mom's partners. So first we get Michelle and Darren. Michelle just gets right into it. She wants to know why Darren got divorced. And Darren is just so open about it. He explains that he was raised to be the provider of the family. So he worked really hard because he just wanted to provide for them. And his job got to the point where he would travel a lot. So much to the point where he was averaging like 200 nights in a hotel in a year. So he was definitely away from his wife, his family a lot of the time, and I guess they just grew apart and didn't really realize it, so that's why they ended up getting divorced. And Michelle asks him, well, you know, since that happened, is he going to have time for her mom? He tells her that his job is insane, he does work a lot, but he has learned to balance a work and life relationship, and he's going to prioritize what's important to him. And at the end of the day, Kelly Mack is what is important to him. I really like Kelly Mack and Darren. They're just really cool, and Michelle even approves as well, so I'm really just happy for them. Now next we have Anthony, and he goes over to sit with Rebecca and her friend. Even just by the short, quick, like, in and out situation there, she's 100% choosing Connor. There's no way she's choosing Anthony, but Anthony still feels like there's no way that she's gonna choose Connor.
Definitely Connor has his work cut out. You know, he's a little younger. He doesn't have the gift of the gab. He has a lot of kissing up to do to compete with me.
Are you sure about that?
Joey even calls his dad the GOAT, which after that scene from last episode, you're gonna have to learn some new material from somebody else, because But Connor comes over with some red wine and immediately gets Anthony out of there. And Anthony literally had no time. Like I said, it was an in and out situation. But with Connor, he actually got to sit down, have more of a discussion with them. But ultimately, her friend is just nervous about the age gap. I guess Rebecca has been with a younger person before. Obviously, it didn't work out. So she's just nervous that since there is that age gap, she feels like he might not be in it for the long haul. Now we get to see the Joeys. Joey meeting Joey. And of course, it had to be as awkward as possible.
Alright, I'm finna get disrespectful in this motherfucker. Look.
Anthony decided to throw in that Kelle always talks about how Joey reminds her of her son Joey.
Conflicted kissing Joey, and it is so weird because my son's name is Joey, and they kind of look alike. And
then he tells them about their sex yoga date, and then also lets them know that his mom made out with him.
One more thing, Joe. Just let's get all clear. Yeah. Let him know you kissed his mother, so this is out of the way. All right?
Well, brother,
Next, we get to see Joey talk to Shauna's aunt. He tells her aunt that he just really likes Shauna, that she's so sure of herself, and he just doesn't date younger people, and that he's never been in love. And she asks how he feels about her having kids, and he seems okay with it, but he also does put out there that he wants kids himself. She then gives him some great advice. That especially when dating women that are older, some women aren't going to want to have kids or aren't going to be able to have kids at an older age. And if they haven't talked about it, that maybe that's something that they should speak about. And honestly, I feel like at any age, you should probably talk about if you guys want to have kids before anything gets too serious, because that is a pretty major thing. But she brings up that if he's going to continue to date older women, then he's going to have to understand that a lot of them are not going to want to have kids. And he says that opened up his eyes because he does want to have kids. And then she does tell him that Shauna is pretty set on not having any more kids. So I don't know how that's gonna end up working out. Now we get Christina and her friend G talking to David. This whole scene, I just felt bad for him. I was like, G was big yapping. Get this man out of here. Somebody rescue him. But they're over there sitting talking about how they just like partying, and she's asking him, you know, like what are his goals in life, and he talks about all the work that he does and all of his missions, and she goes into basically how Christina's gonna balance him out since she's gonna be the partier and he's gonna be the goal-oriented person.
You know, you can tell he's so mission-oriented that he needs someone to be like, listen, we're gonna party right now, we're gonna laugh, we're gonna have fun.
But I don't think David saw that in that way, and he seemed turned off by the situation. I could just straight up in real time seeing him get less and less interested in Christina. And even in his talking head, he says that G gave him some perspective, that maybe him and Christina's goals aren't aligned. So I don't know how well this went. So now we get to see what's gonna happen between Crystal and Stacy finally, because she lets her sister know about everything going on between her and Stacy. So she asks her to go speak to him. So her sister goes and starts to talk to Stacy. She also just jumps right into it. She wants to know, like, basically, where are you now since you just recently got divorced? It was pretty fresh, and I don't know if I just didn't remember this or if they didn't say it. I'm sure they said it, I probably just don't remember, but I guess he recently got divorced. Like, it's been some months. Like, I was thinking like years, but yeah, even he said like the time was concerning. So it's like, what are you doing here? I understand you might want to get out and like date people, but you're going on a whole show right after your divorce. Like,
child. Anyway, so.
But he says that he does want a relationship, but then he goes on to say this about Crystal.
I'm kind of like, do I want a relationship? Yeah, because I'm a family guy. Crystal has let me know and let everybody else in this house know that she's very interested in me.
And that right there would have really made me feel like, you are not feeling my sister, you're not feeling me, whatever. Like, why would you say it like that? I don't know. To me, that just seems like really weird. And then on top of the whole like Shauna thing, it's kind of like, it's just a weird situation, because I just want to be like, Crystal, just stop talking to this dude. Like, he obviously isn't feeling you like that, but then at the same time, he's basically leading her on. Like, so it's like, oh man, it's a weird situation. But Crystal's sister did see that, and she's basically like, no, this is not a match for my sister. He's not looking for anything serious, and my sister's looking for something serious, so this just isn't gonna work. Now that all the family members and friends have got to sit down and talk to everybody, they get to go back and meet up with the moms and tell them what they think about them. Now Shauna and her aunt get to talk after Joey leave, and her aunt Sharon says that she does like Joey, but he needs to figure out the whole baby situation. Shauna says that she didn't even realize that he wanted kids, and now that's just something that they're gonna have to think about. And her aunt even tells her, like, he might be cool, he might feel like he's the one, but you shouldn't settle. So I don't know how Joey and Shauna are gonna go. I honestly feel like she may end up giving him a try though, because I think they're really cute together, and I think they're vibing. I think they might take it a little bit further. Now Christina and G are off to the side, and Christina is so giddy, she's so happy, and she even says that she might end up moving to Texas for David.
I was married for 20 years, and I was like, I'm never getting married again.
Yeah.
Right? But as crazy as this is gonna sound, I don't know, girl, I might be living in Texas.
Stop the motherfucking music. You. Are you done?
Girl, at this point, I think you may need to slow your roll, because I don't think he's feeling it anymore. I don't know. Just based off of that little segment, I could be reaching, but I don't know if he's into it anymore. Now we have Crystal's sister letting her know about Stacy, and she tells Crystal that she just doesn't think that's gonna work. Now Crystal says that her sister can read people better than she can, but she's not even gonna listen.
My sister can read people better than I can. But deep inside, I feel like Stacy is finally coming around. It's true that good things are worth waiting for. But I won't wait forever.
Stop it. Get some help.
What are you waiting for, girl? It took him one day to ask out Shauna, and he hasn't asked you out yet. I'm sorry. It's like, I don't want to be mean. I feel mean like saying it like this, but it's like, I guess maybe if when she sits back and watches the show, she'll probably see it too. But in the moment, it's like, oh man. And I can't blame it on her. Like, he is obviously leading her on. Like, he just needs to man up and be like, no, I'm just not feeling you like that. Now, since it's Barbie's birthday, Barbie gets to use her friend's phone and call her son. I'm pretty sure we all know that her son is not into this. When she had her first date on the first episode with Jacob, she said that her son was just not cool about her dating younger. And she even says in this one she has dated someone younger before and he was not into it. But she lets him know that she's dating a 27-year-old, and he immediately is like, where he at? Where the dude at? So Barbie's friend goes and gets Chris and brings him in the room, and this is where we learn that Chris is only a year older than her son. Her son is 26 and Chris is 27, and that is just wild to me. I couldn't imagine dating somebody the age of my kid, like, because I feel like I would be seeing them as a kid. I don't know. Obviously, I haven't got to that age yet, so I can't judge. But Chris just tries to convince him that he really likes Barbie, and of course he wants to meet him, get his approval, but just tries to make him feel okay with the situation. But Barbie can tell her son is not happy with it, and of course it makes her a bit sad that her son is not very approving. Now let me tell you, all hell is about to break loose, and over something so small too, but it was entertaining nonetheless. So we have Joey and Anthony just sitting outside having a good conversation, just saying how they're enjoying their experience. This is a nice thing that they're going through. Kelle comes out, she joins them, they're having their conversation, and then Barbie follows out right after. And Barbie's still upset about the call that she had with her son and Chris. So she just sits down and just tries to vent, and she lets them know that she had spoken to her son about this even prior to the show. And we already know that Barbie knew about Milf Manor. So of course she talked to her son about it. And then she goes on to say that her son and her thought that this would be cringe.
You were correct. It's fact.
Because season 1 was so tacky. And she did kind of point to Kelle a little bit. But I mean, Kelle was on season 1.
Could very well be like cringy, and obviously no offense to season 1, but season 1 was a little tacky.
What part?
Anyway.
But Kelle gets big mad. She gets so offended by that. And she's like, season 1 was tacky? And then she's like, what part of it was tacky? And then Barbie, she's like, I just don't want to get into that, and tries to go back into what she's saying. And then Kelle just stands up and is like, okay, it's all about Barbie. Let's get down to it. Let's get down to it. Yes, Kelle was right. The show did get a season 2, so it did obviously pop off. But that doesn't mean it wasn't tacky. Like, the show was weird. The show, if anything, was only good because we couldn't stop watching out of cringe. Like, let's just be real about the situation. The show is bad. We all hate the show, but we hate it so much that we love it, and that's why we're here. So, I mean, nothing to be mad about, but I feel like Kelle prides herself on being the Milf Manor queen, or whatever she thinks she is. That shouldn't be the pillar that you stand on, is the Milf Manor. I don't even know. But anyway, the whole fight broke out over Barbie saying that season 1 was tacky. And Kelle was like, what part of it's tacky? We got a season 2, so what'd it do? She stands up, she starts yelling. And then Rob, which I don't even know where the heck this guy came from, he just butts in and he's like, your answers are generic. Your answers are generic. You're not even really answering her.
No, that was very generic. Your answers were so generic.
You're just rude.
She asked you some specific questions and you generically answered them to insult her.
And it's like, dude, where did you even come from? And it wasn't even like Kelle was straight up asking her questions. She asked her one question. What about the show was tacky? I don't know. The whole situation was dumb. It was dumb. But Rob starts arguing with Barbie, which he should not be arguing with a woman. Like, stay out of it. But Joey butts in and is like, dude, you just got out here. You came in halfway through the conversation, so you really shouldn't be saying anything.
All right.
How? Give the one instance.
Rob, you're out here for 5 seconds, and you weren't here for half the conversation.
Shut up.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't get in on this.
No, he's just trying
If they're
to
gonna argue,
protect
let
me.
them argue, but we don't have to get involved.
Since Joey called out Rob, now Kelly's defending Rob, and it just keeps going downhill into the point where Barbie is just like, I'm done with this. It's my birthday. I'm trying to get the heck out of here. But they just keep going and going. It's just ridiculous. But Kelle and Barbie just kind of keep going back at it a little bit, and then Kelle is just like, you're weird. And Barbie's like, I'm weird. And yo, what Barbie said next, I laughed so damn hard. Not to be disrespectful, but I was like, damn. But Kelly's like, you're weird. And Barbie's like, I'm weird. Why? Because I don't wear crop tops and have bad extensions?
You're weird. You're up here. I'm weird? Because I don't wear crop tops? Because I don't have bad extensions? Right, I got it.
But Barbie then keeps going on, and she's like, you don't even need to keep forcing a connection with Rob because you know you're just trying to stay relevant. And this girl is eating Kelle up so bad that Kelle just snaps out of it and starts acting innocent, like, what's happening? What's going on?
Why are you attacking me? What is going on with you? What happened? She's called me every name in the book, Chris. She called me Two-Faced.
Why are you talking to him like he's my dad?
We were out here having a pleasant conversation.
Don't act all
But Barbie is just like, whatever, she done won the game anyway, and goes inside. And Crystal comes walking up, and I totally forgot that Crystal and Barbie kind of had like a beef thing in the beginning, because like it just never came up again. But Crystal kind of went in on Barbie a little bit. Like, I don't think she had to say all of that, you know?
Like, bitch, you ain't think nobody was gonna come in here and be better than you? You think you was gonna be top hoe? Nah, you're not.
Like, honestly, all of this was not that serious. Kelle just got offended because a show that she was on got called tacky. But at the end of the day, Barbie is also on this show that she called tacky, so it wasn't even that serious. At the end of the day, Milf Manor is not paying you guys millions, so it should not be your legacy. Like, for real. You guys should not be fighting over a show where people are dating and there's family relations involved. Like, this show is tacky. Sorry. But Kelle and Barbie just continue to go at it. And Barbie said she was just trying to vent about her son, and basically Kelle ruined it. I definitely feel like Kelle went a little overboard. She definitely overreacted. I guess in all fairness, maybe Barbie should have picked her words a little bit better. She is on this show that she is calling tacky, so I mean... Now all the family start leaving, and once everybody's gone, we have a scene with Kelle and Rob, and Kelle is crying over the situation, saying she doesn't understand what happened, but she thanks Rob for defending her, and that she says that nobody ever defends her, not even her own dad does. So I guess Rob got some points there. Now, honestly, I kind of saw this happening. I'm not even gonna lie. But Barbie and Chris are laying down, and Barbie, she's like, you know what, F this. I am fed up. I came here to find a love, find a connection, and I found it. So why am I still here? So she tells Chris, like, we should just get out of here. Let's pack up and let's go. And Chris, he's like, I'm down with whatever you want to do. So if you're ready to go, let's go. And they get up, they pack their things, and they leave. And they don't even tell anybody. Chris actually only tells Anthony because his stuff was in the room with Anthony. So he says his goodbye to Anthony and just says, don't tell anybody. And they dip out. So that's the end of that. And that was the end of today's episode. I was sitting there and I was like, dang, this is a lot of yapping. Like, they're talking a lot in this episode. But then I realized literally every episode, every TV show ever is just talking. I think I've been watching too much anime and I was expecting some fight scenes to happen. I don't know what I was expecting, but I think it was just because, like, it was just a lot of, like, the family getting to know, like, the dads and all that stuff. So I was just like, oh, this is a lot of talking. But then the Kelle and Barbie fight broke out, and I was like, geez, I don't know. This episode was a little, I don't know. But I do hope you guys at least enjoyed it. But let's look at the previews really quick. Next week, we see that Anthony goes ahead and tells everybody that they left. And it looks like next episode may be the last episode. Looks like it's time for everybody to make their decisions. And honestly, I am only here for Kelle and Darren at this point. And I know they're going to make it. I'm also really interested to see if Shauna and Joey become a thing. And I'm also curious about Christina and Connor. No, not Connor, David. I'm interested about Christina and David, mostly on David's side, just because, you know, since G came through, I think he started changing his mind. So I'm kind of interested to see where that's gonna go. But yeah, that was this week's episode. I want to thank you guys again for coming and watching. I always do appreciate you guys coming and watching. Always love seeing your guys' comments, seeing what you guys feel, your opinions. Like this episode has been yapping. I've been big yapping this whole time. So again, I have told you guys I want to be the host of season 3. So if you could just like and subscribe for me, that would be awesome. Maybe that like and subscribe would help me be on the tackiest season 3 of Milf Manor. Please help a girl out. But you guys have the most beautiful day. Bye.